live, going single cam. We got the A cam and the Frito cam, and as always, so this is Beach Access. You will notice that Kyle Friend is not beside me. He's at a bachelor party. He abandoned me for our recap of the Hermosa Beach Open, where I put on all of the hats. So I was a player, put on the player's hat for the first time in more than a calendar year, played with my boy, Andy Benesh. We exceeded all expectations, I think, by taking a fifth, had some of the better wins of my career there, and I have not been able to walk. I pretty much just rolled my way down from my house to then commentate the semifinals and finals, a double final! And I think that's where we're gonna start. So the Hermosa Open, which shout out to Mark Patalui, who put on this tournament with the help of Wedbush Securities, our title sponsor. Without either of those men, this event doesn't happen, and the vibes were immaculate. The morale was so high. I think this was the purest, vibiest beach volleyball tournament I've been at in a long, long time. The stress of Olympic qualifying, gone. The stress of qualifying for the league, gone. It was just beach volleyball for beach volleyball's sake, and it was incredible. It was a true double elim. What does that mean? It means that if a team makes it all the way to the winner's bracket to the finals, as Terese Cannon and Megan Kraft did, and then they lose that first final to the team that came out of the contenders bracket, as Kelly Cheng and Sara Hughes did, then you go to a double final, 1-21, which Kelly Cheng and Sara Hughes won. And I was talking to Jordan Cheng after that win just now, and I said, Jordan, I'm more impressed with this win than I am with your 2023 World Championship win. And he said, Trav, I think it's right up there, because they played 4 matches on Friday afternoon. Now, this was a tournament that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday main draw. They played 4 matches on Friday. Now, I also played 4 matches on Friday, and if me and Andy had won our last match on Friday and we had been required to play Saturday, could not have done it. Could not have played 1 match. I can't lift my shoulder above my ear right now. It's impossible. It hurts that bad. And not only do Kelly and Sara show up, they have 3 big wins, win a double final, come home with the Hermosa Open Championship. And it was just much needed for them, I think, because they've just been a little bit off the weight of that 5th place at the Olympic Games. I know that's been heavy on them. And then they take a 3rd at the Manhattan Beach Open. They take a 3rd in Chicago, and they get this big win. I know it's not an officially sanctioned AVP tournament. It's not going to go down on BVB, but this was a legit win, no question about it. And the team that they beat, I have to give them some love. Terese Cannon and Megan Kraft. I think Megan Kraft is in that upper tier of American defenders, right up there with Kristen Nuss, right up there with Sara Hughes. I think it is those 3, and then it is everyone else, and she proved it. They went up 12-8 in the 3rd set of the first final, and they could have closed it and should have closed it, and Kelly and Sara just turned up. Kelly in particular just went beast mode, was automatic. Every time she touched the ball, something great happened. Lefty pokey, righty pokey, blocking, dragging seam and blocking Meg. Turned it up when it needed. Sara Hughes, unbelievable grit. Just, I'm happy for them. My heart is full for them. Heart's a little bit broken for Terese and Meg, who so close again. They were up 8-3 in the 3rd set of the Stade Elite 16 finals. Didn't close that one out. Took a silver medal to Kristen Nuss and Taryn Cloth, up 12-8, up 13-9 in the first final of this one here in Hermosa Beach. Don't close it out. They take a 2nd place. Still a great finish. They will still have the AVP League coming up. That is every single weekend for the next 8 weeks. And I'm going to try to have a primer on everything you need to know about the AVP League coming up later this week. Starts, I believe, Friday or Saturday this upcoming week, but again, that'll be for later. For now, we are in Hermosa, but back to just sort of the vibes. I just chatted with Rafi Paulus. He said this is my favorite tournament of the year. And you know it's saying something, because Rafi, as he'll admit, they didn't play great. They didn't win a match. He said this is my favorite tournament of the year because beach volleyball was just fun again. There were players' parties every night. Shout out to Waterman's for putting those on. Shout out to Pinella's. Players got free food at Pinella's, owned by Anginho, Brazilian legend. And it was just a communal thing. And Leon Luidi and Ruben Peninga, our Dutch wildcards, they barbecued and they said, I love this place. I don't want to be anywhere else. Alex Ranghieri, the Italian playing with Miles Partain, he said, this is just, it's beautiful. Hermosa, so aptly named the event, so aptly named a true open where international players could play with Americans. It was fun to see Miles Partain play with Alex Ranghieri. And I think that had they had another week or 2 of practice together, Maybe that final goes a little bit different, but Chase Budinger and Miles Evans, they've been playing together for 2 years. They don't have any of those miscommunications where you had Miles Partain run a back set and then Alex sets him in front, and those are just those little communication plays that made that difference in the finals. And Chase Budinger, Miles Evans, huge win in Hermosa, and I have zero doubt that Trevor Crabb somewhere is saying, doesn't count, I wasn't there. Trevor Crabb was at a wedding, Taylor Crabb at a wedding, Taylor Sander at a wedding. So Trevor, no doubt, will be saying, doesn't count, wasn't AVP, I wasn't there. And I'm here to say that the $15,000 check being cashed by Chase Budinger and Miles Evans, that counts for a lot, as does all the legends in attendance to watch, as does all those on VBTV streaming to watch. So a huge credit to Mark Patalui for putting that together, getting it on VBTV, getting the very old school setup, no stadium. And there was just so much that I loved that Mark did at this event. As soon as the players lost, they walked right off the beach with a check in hand. And that's something that you don't see all that often on the beach, and the players loved it. All the feedback, I talked to Andy, I said, what do you think could have done better? He said, honestly, from a tournament point of view, I have no feedback, no way for this event to be better. And so hopefully this will happen again. Hopefully it'll be an AVP tournament in 2025. But if not, I hope this comes back again. I hope we have more international players coming. It was a blast. It was a blast to see Heather Bansley, 3-time Canadian Olympian, playing with Megan J. Rice. It was a blast seeing Betsy Flint playing with an LMU player from Finland. It was a blast for me to jump in again and play with Andy Benesh. And a lot of players just use it as sort of, the term I've been using is a hall pass, where everyone was just like, you know, it's a week off. We get to have some fun. And, you know, we get to make some good money doing it. This was the biggest check I've cashed in my professional career. Not even a player. Just put the hat back on for one last weekend. So thank you to everyone for tuning in to the Hermosa Beach Open, for all the SANDCAST listeners and fans who chipped in and donated. Trust me, it went a long way. Where I think that this is a sustainable blueprint, where every penny that came in over expenses went right into prize money. We were able to raise $210,000. A lot of that was crowdfunded donations. A lot of that was from Wedbush, from Kona, from Sandcourt Experts. That's Mark's own company, so he dipped into his own pocket. Mark took $0 for putting on this event, and it was a full-time job. And so we owe Mark Patalui a great debt of gratitude, a lot of thanks, a lot of love to him for putting this on, because it was the only people who made money in this event were the refs, who also took a haircut, the production company took a huge haircut, and then the players, and that was it. And so it was a complete break-even event. We raised $210,000, $150,000 went back to the players, and it was just, morale's high. Incredible vibes, immaculate vibes, and a shout out as always to my guy behind the camera, Daniel Freitas, La Machina, producer Thredo, again, the guy behind all of those reels that we're putting up on SANDCAST or Hermosa Beach. Oh, shout out to Ben Wood, by the way, who's putting together all the content for the Hermosa Open Instagram page, did a tremendous job. Thanks to Richie Harrington for putting together all the videos he did, all the photographers doing great work. Any content we can get on the beach, we love sharing it. We want you guys to build your platforms as much as possible, because that just makes the game bigger. And that'll do it for the Hermosa recap. I'm going to ice, sauna, and sleep. And so I'll try to get you that league primer when I can, just who's playing where, how are things decided, where's streaming gonna be, just try to get you all everything you need to know about the league. And so for now, we're gonna celebrate a really wonderful, vibey event in Hermosa Beach. Shoots.